Hey guys, and welcome to the Isekai special episode of Preview Guide. As I'm looking at 4 more new shows, all of which are kind of like isekais. Well, you could argue one's not, but technically it is, just reversed. Regardless, I'm looking at 4 more new shows today, 3 of which are definite isekais. I'm going to let you know what I think of them. Are they any good? Should you watch them? Or should you go into another world trying to avoid them? I'll let you know in the video, and do let me know in the comments what you think of them. I'll also let you know I'm skipping over that time I got reincarnated as Slime Season 2 Part 2 this year. That's because it's a second part to a second season I watched a few seasons ago. I do think you should watch it if you enjoyed the first seasons, but you don't really need me to preview guide that to tell you about that. But what I do need to tell you is this is the 2021 Summer Anime Preview from a different perspective. Just when you thought it was safe to get back out of the isekai, comes along a new isekai, Seirei Gensouki, an isekai which doesn't involve a truck. In fact, our main character is killed and isekai'd, not by a truck but a train. As a bus is riding in, goes straight through a level crossing and BAM! The entire bus is gone. Well, it's not gone, it's kind of spread all over the railway, but he's gone. He's been isekai'd. Our main character this time is a kid called Ryo, who is resurrected from our world after a bus incident. And he's an urchin, a street urchin, a nobody, a kid who's lost his mother, trying to get revenge somehow. And he's falling into bad times in the slums of a town, in this gang which are doing shady deliveries. And yeah, he stinks, they know he stinks, he's hungry, yeah. And so when these random royal princess looking characters all turn up saying, "Excuse me sir, have you seen this girl? Pink or purple hair, we don't know where she is. Have you seen her?" Of course he doesn't want to know what's going on there. He's intrigued, but of course he doesn't know where it's going on, he's an urchin. I mean, we kind of know where she is by Chekhov's parcel, but yeah. And so it becomes that we find out that Ryo has magic powers. Of course he does, he's an isekai main character. I think they're born with magic powers, aren't they? And when he goes home to the gang area, I say home, but place is stopping, there's a man there who's killed all the other gang members, waiting for him to come back, apparently, and he's attacked. Suddenly, time stops, a goddess comes down to him and says, "You can use magic, this is how you use it." And we suddenly get a very quick tutorial for him on how to buff himself and become a super powerful isekai beast. He knocks out the bad guy, discovers that yes, the girl is in the bag that they were delivering, and proceeds to think, "Okay, I want to take you back to a castle now. She doesn't belong here, she needs to go back." On the way back, is accosted by the people who were looking for the girl earlier, accused of kidnapping her and taken to a castle for questioning. Again, it was only going to be polite questioning, but the royal guard, they got nothing entirely because they blame themselves for losing her, and they want to take it out on this kid, this urchin. But the princess wakes up, saves the day by saying that he didn't kidnap her. He gets an audience with the king, and he presents himself well. Now, Spirit Chronicles, Seirei Gensouki, is very much by the numbers when it comes to isekai series, but it's not a turn-off, it's not a bad-looking show. The premise is cliched, but believable and understandable. I say believable, it's isekai, all things considered. And I'm intrigued to know where it's going to go, whether or not it's actually going to be a good one or a generic one. I'm leaning towards generic at the moment, but I do want to watch more. If you don't want to watch this one, you can find it airing over at Crunchyroll. New anime season got you down? Tired of so many isekai coming in and spoiling your anime season? Well, great news, there's a new drug in town, and it's named Drugstore in Another World, The Slow Life of a Cheat Pharmacist. It's airing over at Crunchyroll. Now, Drugstore in Another World is, of course, another isekai series. But don't let that fool you, because this one really does not come across as your bog standard isekai. For one thing, unless we were told it's an isekai, we wouldn't know. We don't see the main character in our world. We don't get to see why they got reincarnated or transported to the world. He's already there. He's a alchemist in another world, opened up an alchemy shop, to sell potions to make a living. There's no saving the world from demons, there's no super magical powers, it's just a guy with his adorable werewolf apprentice and a random blonde ghost girl living under one roof, running an alchemy shop, a drugstore. And that's about it really. Our main character Reiji is pretty much basic lead kai from an isekai, but a good one. He's not a Kirito, he's more of a Kazuma, only with less of sleaze. And Nola is friggin' adorable. She's basically this cute werewolf girl who's basically running around in what looks like woolen bra and panties all the time in the cloak, but it doesn't seem wrong, it fits her. And of course the ghost girl Mina is adorably clueless, ditzy, but friendly and nice all the same. Nothing really much happens in this episode. We learn he sells super potions, we learn he helps people relax with tea, and he makes some deodorant. I think the only real way you can improve this show as a viewer is tone down some of the manicness sometimes, and make the main character a cute alchemist designed by Mel Kishida. Because this is what an Atelier anime should be like, unlike the one we got a few years ago. Drugstore in Another World is a cute anime. It's one I'm probably going to stick to a few episodes, but it's also a type of anime which might not go anywhere, and that may be a problem for it. If you want to see if Drugstore in Another World is to your liking, you can find it over at Crunchyroll. It is becoming a bit of a trend really, isn't it? The isekai genre. Actually, it's already a lot of a trend actually, as we come across another anime which is another isekai series. And again, we're not really told how he's transported to another world here, he's just kind of there. Although this one at least we do get to see the reincarnation process, as he first speaks to a god from our world, Tsukimichi, then he speaks to a goddess from the other world, we don't know her name, she's called Goddess, and we find out what he's teleported to another world using. Now our main character Makoto is transported to another world, but when he meets with the goddess, she couldn't care less. She's got a quota of heroes, doesn't need any more, doesn't think Makoto's that good looking, finds him annoying, finds him ugly, finds him uninteresting, so she gives him some boring power, throws him to the edge of a realm, so he won't do any kind of problems. The power is given is a power to understand all races. I think that's actually a pretty decent power really, especially given the fact that there's no humans out in the outer recesses of the world, and his first contact is with an orc girl called Emma, a very very sweet cute young orc girl called Emma, blonde, in a dress, fighting off a Cerberus. And Makoto just turns up and pretty much one-shots it. It's like running around in newbie areas as max level character in any kind of MMO, like Final Fantasy. But Emma takes him home, he meets all the orcs, finds out what's going on in the world, finds out that he's super powerful, has super magic powers, but is level 1. And because he doesn't really want to be seen marrying Emma, no matter how attractive she is, she's also a pig, quite literally. He goes out into the world to try and defeat the invincible dragon which is causing him problems, and carry on his journey. And he does meet the invincible dragon, who basically tries to kill him, and fails, and so the dragon decides to trap him in his own world, well, into a fantasy based on his own world. In doing so, not only does he escape, the dragon learns some really awesome stuff from his world, and decides to enter into a contract with him. Which starts out as a 50-50, everybody gets equal share of roles, partnership, but since Makoto's so overpowered, the dragon decides to take whichever possible thing they can get. Turns out to be something like a 90-10% split of power, where Makoto has majority of power, and the dragon is pretty much slain. Because the dragon transforms into a hot young girl, calls herself a samurai, and was willing to follow a master to the end of the earth. Now, I was willing to throw away Tsukimichi Moonlit Fantasy the moment I started watching it. It's uninspiring, it's kind of generic, but there's something there. It's not terrible. The main character is interesting, but it's overpowered as fuck. It's the weird power and the other characters which keep me coming back to this one. I'll be honest, I'm probably not going to watch more of it, mainly because there's so much to watch this season. But if you wanted to watch this one, you can find it airing over at Crunchyroll. I've been making a point to record these preview guides immediately after watching the episodes. Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid S, on the other hand, is one which I really didn't need to. Partly because I watched it just before I did my fitness stream, and partly because I knew exactly what I was going to say about it. Because, boy am I glad to have Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid back. Not just a shorts, this time we got a full-length series from the wonderful people at Kyoto Animation. Gotta love Kyoto Animation. After what happened to them a couple of years back, they're back and it's back as good as ever. Now if you've not seen Dragon Maid, what are you doing? Go back and watch it. Because Dragon Maid is a comedy, slice of life style show about our main character Kobayashi, who is just a generic, straight-faced office worker lady. She's got a bit of a maid fetish. I say a lot of a maid fetish. And one day she goes home and picks up a dragon. As in, gets drunk, starts chatting to a dragon, and offers a dragon a place to live. And Toru, the dragon, becomes her maid. One thing leads to another. She ends up living with another dragon, Kana Kamui, who is this adorable little kid with a big appetite. You got her rival and Kobayashi's co-worker, Elma, who acts as though she's Toru's rival, but she's much more interested in the food. In fact, she's got a spin-off manga where she eats a lot of food. She's a food girl, I definitely approve of Elma. You got Ketsukoto, who is this sassy, big-breasted, perfect-formed body. I would call her a dragon, but she's more of a god, I think. Who is bunking with a little kid who summoned her. Or she acts as though he summoned her anyway. And Fafnir, the demon dragon, who doesn't care for anything, although he's now become an otaku, living with another of Kobayashi's co-workers. Well, the good news is, with Kobayashi's Dragon Maid S is everything we got from the first season, with an extra, because Dragon Maid S adds another new character, Ilulu. Another dragon, a chaos dragon like Toru, but Ilulu is a lot more upfront with her personality. And by that I mean she's got huge tits. By that I mean half of her body is tits. By that I mean it's kind of almost grotesque in design, but still cute in a weird way. Ilulu is a very much different type of character to Toru, Kamui, Elma and them like. She's a lot more aggressive, a lot more forceful in her attacks. Be interesting to see how Kobayashi tames her. I mean, she tamed Kana with cuteness, she tamed Elma with food, she tamed Toru by making Toru a maid. I mean, Toru's awesome anyway. How is she going to tame Ilulu? I'll be honest, I actually know the answer to that one, because I read the manga. But I'm not going to share it with you guys, I'm going to let you watch it and enjoy it. And it's one you definitely should watch and enjoy. It's airing over at Crunchyroll. Go and watch it. If you haven't watched the first season, go and watch it instead. And so that was Seirei Gensouki Spirit Chronicles, Drugstore in Another World, Tsukimichi Moonlit Fantasy, and Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid S. I've looked up 4 new shows and let you know what I thought of them. Let me know what you thought of them as well in the comments. Remember to like, comment and subscribe, and be sure to follow me on Twitch for daily streams including Ring Fit Adventure. Until next time, bye bye.